Hey guys, here I am again making another video again about my acne. Whoop-de-fucking-do. As if you weren't already like excited enough about it. So, the last video I had eaten something bad and it broke out. Well, you know what happened again? I ate a bunch of cookies. Yeah, cookies are like seriously my downfall. It's really bad. And also my teeth are like yellow. Oh God. It's like from the coffee I'm drinking. That's really bad. And I should probably stop drinking coffee at some point, but I like it. I don't drink it for the energy. I just like it. And also I've read that it's good for the liver. I don't really know, but you know, honestly, ever since I've been drinking it, my skin has actually gotten better. So I don't know. But it used to get worse when I drank coffee. So honestly, I don't really know how it works, but now it seems to be improving my skin, so I drink. I use this like organic fair trade stuff. I try to get stuff that's, you know, hopefully not causing anyone to live a miserable existence. I hope. But you know, we're all unconscious consumers in many ways, so I know I'm making mistakes. Like, I love Nike. That's mistake number one. Really hope that one day they can improve their game because I love their products, but I need to do more research about the conditions of the people who work for their factories. Anyway, or buy thrift, you know, just buy what's already out there instead of supporting new stuff that's coming. But God, they really have like the best stuff. It's horrible. Anyway, so I wanted to make this video because I got a new house. We're leasing it, and it's awesome because it's like a cabin. As you can see, it's just like literally wood everywhere, and I personally love that vibe. I think what I'm gonna do is like hang some blankets and stuff on the walls. Like, I'm planning on going to Goodwill and just like finding whatever cool stuff I can get, and just nailing that shit on a wall and just having like little tapestries and stuff. So that'd be cool. It'll, you know, give it some kind of flair or whatever. I don't know. And also it's energy efficient because this house is really old and there's lots of like air leakages and stuff. So yeah, we really got to do something about that because, man, it's pretty bad. I am getting a personal heater. I love the heat, and I recently got like a little mini desk one for my office at work, and ever since I got that, I was like, wow, these heaters are amazing, OP AF. So I really like the one that I got for my job, and you know, I'm not going to take it back and forth every single day, so I'm going to get one for the room and then one for another room, just so I can heat like a small amount of space instead of heating the entire house all at once, because that's just like pretty, you know, not efficient. So yeah, I don't really have a point in making this video. I'm just kind of talking about random shit in my life. Now that I'm in this house, we have tons and tons of land to start gardening and stuff, and I plan on my first step into making my own stuff is I'm going to start doing sprouting again. Now that we have a house that's not filled with like moisture. The moisture in our old our apartment was really bad because of where it was located, and you know, just various reasons. Every time I would sprout something, it would just like mold within 2 hours. It was insane. It was really weird. But now I don't think we're gonna have that problem, and I'm getting a little mesh strainer to put over the sink, and then in the sink I'm going to put I'm basically gonna just like soak the grain or whatever it is in a jar, and then once it's soaked and activated, I'm going to move it over into this sink strainer, and also use like a muslin bag as well to cover it, just to contain it, you know, and prevent flies or anything from getting onto it, and just use that as like a way to, you know, have them actually start sprouting. And I'm probably just going to eat them as sprouts. I'm probably not going to plant much unless I decide to start growing wheatgrass, which is a total possibility. because I plan on sprouting wheat kernels, because I had some amazing wheat kernel, sprouted wheat bread when I went to Australia, and it was so good. It's naturally really sweet, and it's really good for you. And when I went to Australia, I had the best skin ever. Like my, I was only eating sprouted grains, fruits, and veggies. I did have fish that my fiance's father caught for us, so while that isn't the most sustainable dish on the planet, that was the family. The family made us this food, and it's like, what are you going to do? Say, oh, no, I'm too good for your fish. So, yeah, so I had that, and my skin was excellent. So, that's why I don't think that becoming vegan is really the health reason is not the main reason that I became vegan, because you can be not vegan and still be relatively healthy as long as you balance out what you're eating. But most importantly, becoming vegan is basically the most ethical decision you could possibly make, besides not purchasing little baby animals from breeders who keep breeding them. That's another unethical thing that's going on that lots of people don't really know that much about. But I'll tell you right now, if you're watching this video I don't know how the fuck you got to this video. I really don't. But if you're watching this video and you somehow made it to 6 minutes and 40 seconds, well, that's impressive on its own. But about pets and stuff, there's a lot of people out there who they have their pets, and they don't get them fixed, so they start breeding, and they keep them like outside all the time, and they have like a kennel for them, and they just kind of like breed these dogs that aren't really well socialized. They're not trained. They're not really, no one pays attention to them, and they sell them to their friends, and that's all great, and it's all fine and dandy when you look at it from, I'm buying a puppy from my friend, and it's a cute dog, and it's exactly what I wanted, and like it's great when you look at it from a personal perspective, but you got to open up your perspective and realize like the greater picture going on, which is that millions of dogs and cats every year are euthanized, killed, because nobody fucking wants them. And the reason why there's so many fucking pets out there that nobody wants is because people keep breeding them and selling them to irresponsible people who don't realize that having a pet is more than just a cuddly little thing that like saunters around. I mean, having a pet is a real commitment. I got a dog, and I got 2 sugar gliders, and I don't need any more pets because it's a lot of work. You have to think about flea prevention. You have to think about their diet. You got to make sure that you get them on a good diet so that they don't have bad poops. You got to make sure they don't get into any food or things that you don't want them eating, because they can get sick and then poop all over your carpet. They can throw up all over your carpet. The list goes on and on about all of the frustrations that come with owning a pet. And a lot of people don't know about any of these frustrations when they take on a pet. They're like, oh, the worst I'm going to have to do is walk my dog outside. And, oh, yeah, I'll walk my dog. I'll feed my dog. That's good. No, that's not that much work. Well, a lot of people find that they wanted to walk their dog, but then they actually don't always want to be walking the dog every so often. So it's like a hassle, and the dog doesn't get to go outside, and it uses the bathroom in the house. I mean, pets are a lot of responsibility. They really, in my opinion, it is like having a child. If you want to give it the highest quality of life you possibly can, you could just have your pet and just like let him do his own thing, let him suffer with fleas, let him suffer with teeth problems and various other illnesses and problems that affect animals. You could just let them suffer and, not deal with it because they're not humans and they're just animals. But, then you're kind of being a dick. So, and if you're even going to be a dick to your own pet, I wouldn't even expect you to think about veganism. So it's, yeah. So, anyway, God, I'm so bad at ranting, but if you don't know about the pet industry, you really research it yourself. And I promise you, if you want a new puppy, you want a new kitten, there's hundreds around you that are looking for a home. that did not come from a breeder. And the thing is, you may think, well, oh, well, this breeder is my friend and whatever. But the thing is, even if he's your friend or she's your friend, that person is bringing more animals into the world that don't need to be there. And every dollar you spend with that friend is encouraging them to allow their pets to just keep reproducing and sell even more puppies later. Because they're like, oh, well, I made about $1,000 off of that last litter. Like, you know, what? And then they're like looking for ways to make money, and they just let their dogs keep reproducing. And we just can't do that, guys. We have to take responsibility for our own idiocy. As humans, we have caused so many problems. We've caused so much suffering, so many animals to just be miserable and be tormented, euthanized, murdered, tortured. I mean, the amount of shit that we cause other animals as a species is horrendous, and we all know this. I mean, this is nothing fucking new, but I think a lot of us don't really realize how it actually, how we're affecting this in more of our day-to-day decisions, like eating meat and having a pet. You know, where you got that pet is just, it's critical. Don't buy from pet stores, for the love of God. Don't buy from pet stores, ever. Because one, you're not getting the healthiest pet you could, because they're breeding purely for looks and, you know, showmanship. But a lot of those animals have health problems, and they will die on you earlier than they should. From random things. You may not have any idea. You just wake up one morning, your dog goes outside, and then they're dead. And they're only 6 years old. And you're like, how did my dog die? That doesn't make any sense. These animals have genetic problems that are just being repopulated and just, you know, pushed out there to all these unknowing people who are spending tons of money on these animals that they could have gotten at a shelter, or they could have gotten at a rescue group for specifically that species. I mean, that breed or whatever that they wanted. There's rescue groups, guys. We have the internet now. We have everything you could possibly want to make an informed decision about everything you do. And yeah, you may think it's easier to go to a pet store and you see the little dog in the window and you're like, oh, that poor doggy, I need to save it. And it's convenient because it's right there. You don't have to do any research, and you just buy it, and it's like, yeah, I feel good because I just got my dog. But I'm telling you, if you got your dog on a split-second decision or an emotional decision, you made the wrong choice, and you're going to regret it. You're going to really, when you start having to take care of the dog and things start going wrong, that's when you're going to be like, fuck, I don't even know if I want this animal anymore. And when that time comes, you know, it's like a lot of people decide they're going to give it to a shelter. Well, your pet is going to die, guys. Your pet is going to get killed if you give it to a shelter. Think about that. It's like that little life that loves you unconditionally, you're just going to give it away and let it die in isolation, pretty much. I mean, to me, that's just not the way I would want to be treated, and that's not the way I'm going to treat any being that I am responsible for, that I took responsibility for. So, you know, man up, grow up, woman up, become a human being, become a real human who can use your fucking brain that you've been given. Use your brain. Don't just, you know, use it a little bit and use it like the animal you really are. Use it, and you know, obviously I'm not trying to insult animals. I'm just saying, like, we have the ability to really think about every single one of our decisions. And if we're going to be an ignorant dumbass about all of them, then what purpose do we even have in living? All we're doing is taking and causing misery. You know? If all you're doing is stealing resources, causing misery for other species, and being a selfish cunt who just buys stuff all the time and amasses tons of trash and just throws it away, causing landfills. I mean, guys, all of us are unconscious consumers at some point in our lives, myself included. I'm not guilty. But the thing is, I'm becoming aware of it, and more people are becoming aware of it, and that's really key, is you do what you can do. You know, you got to start somewhere, and the first place to start is by awareness, being aware of how much waste we're producing, how much suffering we're inducing, how much impact we really do have on the macrocosm of this earth. You know, it's more significant. Your impact is more significant than you may think. I mean, one person alone, I think, I don't know, look up the statistics. I think it's like one person alone throws away an average of 400 pounds of trash a year. Where do you think that goes, guys? And I see people who get mad at people who will like throw a plastic on the side of the road, and they're like, "Oh, that person's littering." Well, you may not be littering in a place where you can see it, but every single time you buy that plastic water bottle, and you don't recycle it and you just throw it in the trash, you're littering somewhere on the earth. And recycling in general is it's just not. I don't think it's really that efficient of a process. Like, I know we're getting better, and but at this stage, I mean, you can recycle stuff, but that doesn't mean it's like gone forever and it's net zero waste and energy. I mean, a lot of shit had to happen to get that thing recycled. So yeah, it's not very efficient either. Recently I've just come into this no waste world where it's like you don't have to accumulate a bunch of stuff. You don't have to have a bunch of trash. There's ways that you can get around like producing a bunch of shit. And like I said, I'm not perfect, and I'm not gonna. I can't go overnight just like immediately. Go buy a billion mason jars and just like use only glass stuff, because I have a lot of stuff that I've already purchased. But the point is, now that I'm more aware of the amount of waste that I was actually contributing to the world, it's like there's a lot of things I could do to step back that also reduce the amount of stuff that you have, and just make you feel more comfortable in your house because you're not cluttered with all this junk. We don't really need half the stuff that we accumulate. I mean, for example, like we just moved into this house, and everyone's like, "Oh, I've got this furniture. Do you want this? I've got this. Do you want that?" And the answer is no. I mean, we got all the furniture we need. We got the floor. I got this chair I'm sitting in. I got a couple of desks, and for working and doing stuff like that. But I don't need 40 couches. I don't need like 20 beds. I don't need a fucking bed, a room that just has a bed in it that just sits there forever. I don't need a guest bedroom. Like, some people do because they have people coming over all the time. You got family. Everyone, everyone has their own needs out of their house. But the point is, don't take on more than you really need. Like, if you don't need a guest bedroom and you have a guest once a year, and you could just double up your couch as like a bed thing, or like have your couch be a futon that converts into a bed, I'm telling you, dude, you're just going to reduce the amount of junk in your house that, it's just space, taking up space and taking up energy in your brain, to be honest. I'm really trying to get more towards knowing everything that I have in my house and knowing all of my belongings and taking care of them, not just like, oh yeah, that thing's getting dusty and it's just sitting there and rotting. Like, I'm just not about that anymore, guys. I don't know why, but all of a sudden I've just gotten this strange urge to just like, it's just like, get this crap out of my life. And I don't want to capture any more crap, so, yeah. Anyway, so, in other news, I'm also trying to work on coming up with a flea repellent or an effective flea solution that's natural, because where we moved, it's like a big wooded area, and my dog is getting like fleas, I think, every time he steps out of the house. So, and I even was using the stuff you get at the store to put on the dogs. That shit does not work. Like, I don't know why, but it doesn't repel them from jumping on, and it doesn't kill anything as far as I know. So, I'm trying to turn to essential oils and learn how to make some little sprays and stuff for my dog. I think it's actually working. So far, it seems like I put a couple of drops of peppermint oil and neem oil into a little spray bottle, just a small one, and just sprayed on my dog. And when I did that, and I was like getting the fleas off of him, the fleas were like not moving as much. They seemed kind of, stunted. Like they were like, and normally, fleas, if you take them out of the hair, they're gone. They're like, they're amazing animals. Like, I was looking at their life cycle. I mean, I kind of knew all this stuff, but I was really like researching fleas and stuff. I was like, man, what an awesome animal. And they also carry other parasites too. Like that whole parasite kingdom, they've got it on point. You know, they're really like, they're amazing, amazing species that just their ability to survive and keep propagating is phenomenal. It's outstanding. Too bad it kind of sucks to have them, and it really sucks for, you know, my pet, my little puppy. I hate to see him scratching and all that shit, and it's like, man. And I wish that the medicine that you can buy actually works, but it just doesn't. If you're in a really heavily wooded area, I think the fleas are a little bit more extreme. So you have to take preventative measures. Like what I do now is I just spray my dog every time I take him outside. I just do him a little spritz with the peppermint and neem oil, and I think that no more fleas have been jumping on him. So the ones that I'm getting off of him are dead. So that's, well, or they seem almost dead. And I'm also gonna, you know, use some baking soda for the carpets, and not to mention we just moved into this house and I found some flea like crap that you put on the carpet. So there could be fleas that are already in the house. All I know is my dog all of a sudden had fleas again, and it was the second we moved into this house. So there's something in the environment causing it. And yeah. So that's what I've been working on. Just want to make this video while I look like total shit. You can see what I look like. Here I am. And to hopefully inspire you to know that you don't have to look any particular way to be who you are. You know, the only, like, if I wanted to look all, like, made up and, you know, pretty or whatever, I could. And I think it, you know, it looks pretty good. I like how I look like that. But I also like how I look like this, because if we were blind, we wouldn't even, you wouldn't even see me. If you were blind, sorry, this chair I have is, like, broken, and I refuse to fix it because it keeps me on my toes, right? So, but what I was saying was, what you look like, it doesn't matter, because yes, first impressions count, but first impressions are overwritten by the other impressions you have with people, and what usually comes through is their personality, their honesty, you know, how they talk to you, how they treat you, do they respect you, do they listen to you, and like I said before, a little earlier, if we were blind, we wouldn't even know what we looked like. And when I think of it that way, I'm like, then what I look like doesn't really matter. All that really matters is what do I feel like? What are my feelings and my emotions, you know, how do I feel when I'm communicating with people? How do I feel when I'm making this video? I feel pretty good. I'm just talking. And it's nice. It's just like, I can talk and throw it out there. So, yeah, I intentionally try to make myself look like shit so that other people realize they don't, it's like, you don't have to, like, dress up all the time. You don't even have to dress up sometimes, unless you want to. And you don't have to dress up for YouTube either. Like, oh, I mean, obviously, I'm not a successful YouTuber, so maybe I'm wrong. But, guys who are successful YouTubers, like, I don't see any of them dressing up that much. They're just like, here I am, fuckers, like, and, you know, I think, I know there's some females YouTubers who do the same thing. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now. Well, we have Freely the Banana Girl, you know, she doesn't, like, wear that much makeup or do anything crazy. She just kind of is who she is. And, yeah, I really respect that, and, I think that's kind of like, oh, yeah, I think just more women should be comfortable with what they look like and not be afraid to show themselves on the internet without makeup, like, or show themselves in person without makeup, you know, it's a shame that we have been taught that we have to look a certain way to be accepted, but honestly, I just think about, like, I see a lot of successful men, and they just, like, they don't even try, they just, like, wake up, stumble out of bed, maybe they brush their teeth, and they just kind of hop in there, and there they are. They don't have to put on makeup, they don't have to really do anything to their hair, they just kind of show up, and they are who they are. And, why can't we do the same thing as women? Like, what? We can. We totally can. It's just, we think that society is telling us we can't do this, this, and this, but society is not telling us anything. We're telling ourselves what we think society wants us to do. So when, and don't get me wrong, you will get comments. Like, people say the darndest things. They say the dumbest fucking shit. They really do. And a lot of people will, they're uncomfortable when they see something that they don't know. And they watch TV all the time. So if they're watching TV and all the women look a certain way and, they see you, they might be like, oh, you look like a man, or where's your makeup? Or like, I don't know. People will just say, oh, you look tired. I don't know. It's just whatever it is. It doesn't even fucking matter is the point. It doesn't fucking matter. Whatever they say to you about what they think about you, the amount of material meaning that judgment has is zero. It's net zero. Even if they're your manager, because even if they're, the CEO of your company, even if they're like above you, I don't care who it is. I don't care what position of authority they have, or what, the only person who can make you feel bad about yourself is you. It is when you accept a negative thing that somebody said about you as true. But you have to find that thing that's really deep within yourself that you had when you were a child, when you knew that your opinion mattered. Your natural feeling about yourself was your natural feeling. And if somebody else tried to, stomp on it, you were like, no. No, I am who I am. We all have a strong, thing within us that says, I am worthy. It says, your cell, let me tell you why. Your cells are working 24 hours of the day to keep you alive because you are worthy of living. You're worthy of living the best life you possibly can. And you were born with a certain set of features, a certain set of genes. And you know what? All of them are amazing because they are there. They exist. They're a piece of everything. They're unique to you, and your consciousness has these traits. You're walking around in this body sack basically, and that body sack is awesome because it lets you be who you are. It's your tool and to interact with the world. Your body is a tool, guys. It's not a display. I mean, you can use it. You can use it as a tool, as a display, if that serves your purpose. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with loving to be beautiful. There's nothing wrong with wanting to, enhance how you look. Falling out of my chair again. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with any of that. But I'm saying if you think that you can't, if you're putting on makeup and you hate every second of it, but you're doing it because you think you think something bad will happen if you don't, I urge you to try not wearing it. Just in one situation where you could get away with it. Say you're going to a friend's house, and usually you put on, and this is if you hate makeup, and you don't want to wear it. You go to your friend's house and you don't put on makeup. That's a good way to see if your friend accepts you for who you really are. It really is. They may say, "Oh, you look bad today," or something, if you normally wear makeup, but that's just because they're expecting a certain thing, an image that you always put off. So when they're expecting that and they see something else, they're like, "Oh, what happened? You look different." If you look different at all, someone's going to comment. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's nothing against you. That's just human nature to be insensitive assholes. So don't let it get to you, guys. Easier said than done. Trust me. I've been working on my self-esteem my entire life. But I think I've gotten to a point where I'm okay with it. I'm okay with everything. Because I know at the end of the day, when I am dead, how I looked is barely going to matter. We look at even beauty queens like Cleopatra or whatever, who was supposedly famed for her beauty. I don't even know what that bitch looked like. I really don't. And I don't think any of us know what she looks like. Even the statues, they're not a true representation of what she looks like. The point is, what you look like doesn't matter. And All the stuff that we buy to dress ourselves up and, look this way and I mean, it's great if you like it. If you like it as a form of art and or you just like to see yourself in different ways and anything that's fun, by all means, have fun. But if you're doing it, I mean, I beat this fucking topic over the head, but I'll just say it one more time. If you're doing it because you think that someone won't like you because you don't look a certain way, then you need to reevaluate the people you're around. You really do, because you have one life and you deserve to spend it with people who respect you for who you are, or no one at all. So you may be the only person who respects you for who you are, and that's okay, because it's just, you don't. We have how do I put this? We have an instinct to meet with other people and be a part of a group because it is a survival mechanism. But nowadays, guys, we're not going to die if we don't have friends. We're not going to die if we don't have close connections. Yes, I do think that ultimately it's good to have someone to share your thoughts with, but you can find an online friend. I promise you, someone that you meet online will like you and respect you for who you are, if the people in your immediate surroundings do not. Try to find people online. Try to find things that you're interested in, and that's how you can really meet people who really care about what matters, which is who you are, not how you look. So, yeah, I just didn't know where I was going with this video when I made it. Take it or leave it. It's just kind of out there for whoever wants to listen to my random rambling in my white t-shirt and my fucking hoodie. Bitches. Alright. Peace out, guys.